All right, so let's watch a neat belt. I've only watched it once, so I'm going in relatively blind. And let's watch. All I know is that Beskin was up quite a few, and it changed really sharply. So let's try to find out. Let's go find out exactly how Jung made such a sick comeback. And it looks like there weren't that many parry riposts or anything super blade heavy. So let's go see where things went wrong for Beskin and also right for Jung. Just off of that, let's have a look. Look at how close Jung stays to the hand. This is right, super close, within probably a few centimeters. Another shot. Oh, now he's more closer to the wrist. Nose is a little far. Tries for the hand again and leaves. Lots of hand pressure. Man, that's a... Oh, God. We're already looking at, like, in 1 minute, 10 to 12 hand shots. Let's look here. This one looks like he kind of missed. Because it looks like he read it well. It looks like he read it well. Or he read that Beskin would go. But maybe he stood up a little too high. No retreat, but he definitely missed. So, nonchalantly, takes his time, gets back on guard. Oh. A little too nonchalant. It looks like, right? Gets flicked. Beskin's like a very strong fencer. Don't doubt this guy. If you give him freebies, he will take them. But so far, all the hits look like they're very much Jung, just not quite being himself yet. And Beskin obviously just fencing to the standard he should be fencing at. Lots of hand. I love these hand feints. Jung is so aware of his distance. So that's a much better double. The big thing with Jung is watch when he does his hand feints. They're so close, right? We can hear the bell guard every time. And he really reads his opponent. Look how threatening this is after, right? There could be a follow-up. And from that hand distance, exactly. Look at that. Boom. Checks the distance. Knows you might be able to hit the foot. Tries again. Look how well balanced he is. Like, I even thought he was going to go back, and then he sees it. Goes back, notices the opportunity, takes it. Fantastic hit. Well, I think like Jung, obviously the Korean style is pretty hard to mimic just because on pure physicality. It's not something we all have. So Beskin is an insane 4. The fact that Jung got a double is really because he squatted on his legs here and he's able to stay strong and not get completely... Oh man, yeah, so you can feel he's like tightening his grip. But the way Jung preps is just phenomenal. You can't necessarily mimic his athleticism, but you can certainly mimic... Ooh. So here it seems okay, like, Jung kind of tightens himself up and he's good. But I was saying, you can definitely mimic Jung's kind of preparations and things like that. But in terms of raw athleticism, unless you are training in that kind of scenario or in that kind of environment, very hard to mimic. So there, he stood up, right? Preparation, like taking a lesson. Beskin grabs 6 and closes. Oh, so how wide is that? So that was really hand. Try for the foot. Tries the same thing as he did earlier. And he almost gets it. This is deadly close. And Beskin gets the 4. So I don't want to say it's not lucky by Beskin at all, but it's definitely just Jung over risking or not quite realizing that what he can or can't do at a certain moment. Safety first. Oh. So I want to see. Kind of caught him sleeping, honestly. Like right before his extension, Jung is sleeping. Just it's not on him. It's not his style, right? It's not how he usually fences. Lots of pressure now. But there's. Ooh, now he's rushing. You want to go for the foot, and Beskin saw it coming. All right, so let's just look at the foot. He's clearly really wanting to go for the foot. And your opponent's got your tip in your face. His tip in your face. And yeah, eat it. So they go to the break. This is unfortunately, like, this isn't allowed anywhere. You can't just, like, tap out and go to the break. So on the break here, Beskin, I would advise, right? Ideally, we see him stay in control. But try not to get too pressured. Otherwise, this bout gets a lot harder, a lot faster. So let's see how Jung adapts. And Jung needs to pressure, but not stay in place. Already, yeah, you can tell the footwork is so much more active. Oh, it's active, but it's only push, push, push. It's still very forced. Beskin is still taking a lesson. So 10-4. This is... Like, if I was watching this live, I would have probably taken my attention somewhere else. Thank God for replays. He's doing like Jung is going in like 1.5 tempo almost here and there, but it's never this. There you go. That was decisive. Right, so boom. Okay, this is super important. When someone pulls back, right, so Beskin takes a huge step back, right? And then, eventually, Jung is following very closely. He's watching that foot land. Right, so boom, Beskin's back on the approach. Boom. So here, this is some decisive fencing. So always be careful, especially when your opponent comes back. It might be a trap, but you can use that trap to your advantage. So a lot more moving now. This favors Jung a lot. Oh, really good. So that's what he was kind of going for earlier. So notice here, the distances. Right, like he's read the fact that Jung might want to go, that Beskin might want to go at the hand. But this time, he's way on target. Oh, this is important. If you don't feel it, right, you get kind of stuck. Leave. Get out of town. Stepped out the strip. Take his meter. Lots of hand feints. Well, like they're a bit more. He's a bit more passive now. He's waiting a lot more. Right? If you're ever down, you don't have to make the comeback right away. It's very important to just let let it cook, let it simmer a bit, and then let your fencing shine. Don't just rush. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. Let's. Oh man. Boom, hand, foot, hand. Ah, boom, really good. So let's look at what he's noticing. Hand, 4, 8, 4. All right, let's go try under now. Boom, gets it. Man, perfect read. That was beautiful. Actually crazy. For obvious reasons, Jung is getting hyped. So now here's where the momentum's shifting, right? Like Beskin is kind of getting nailed, and he's not sure why. Jung, high confidence. Beskin is kind of trying to refine his. Ooh. So I wouldn't say this is like necessarily planned, but just a really nice flick on the attempt. So let's look at the timing. So the attention is drawn low, right? So right, our attention is still starting low. And then he just tries. All right, so on our opponent's landing, we go try and we get it. Now Jung is really feeling in control. Remember, like 2 minutes ago, this was 10-4 or so, right? I think they're going to go to third. Yeah. So they go to third. So here, right, Beskin is in a bit of trouble. He hasn't really been able to land a hit like all period or for the last 2 minutes. Jung is really taking his time. And this is something you absolutely need to do in your bouts, especially when you're behind pistol grip, French grip, I don't care. Let the bout cook a bit. You don't have to make that comeback in 2.5 seconds. You got to take your whole 2-3 minutes to actually get back on top. Otherwise, it's usually a speed run to losing a bout. Oh, so Jung kind of plays the opposite game. Look at that. So right before, high attention is high. He's keeping his tip high, actually. And Jung's system, wow, and then boom. Jung's system was really on that foot landing, but to the hand. Like, I say that a lot for the foot and even on the attack. But Jung takes it another level. At this point, Beskin has to be freaking out, right? Or at least internally. Oops. More hand. So look at... So Jung's really good at trying right away with what just happened. So look at this. A lot of times we're seeing, right? So boom. He sees a big 6. He's probably really close there. And then again, on the step forward. Boom. The big 6. But he actually nails him on the mask. But he's ready for that big 6. So a lot of times he's just reading what's in front of him. And I find a lot of times... but he's doing it very safely, right? It's not like he did like lunge flesh or anything like that. He just tightened his tip a little bit and stayed on target. He didn't go for something insanely risky. Oh. So Beskin obviously now, he doesn't feel like defending. He goes for kind of an ill-fated attack. Not a super good attempt. Jung steps back, nails him on the arm. So Beskin needs to go on the offensive here. Or at least he needs to try, because whatever he's been doing, it's not been working. Oh. And now it's letting Jung just reads it. Boom. Now. So let's watch again, right? Someone's pushing you. You got to be really careful when you go for the foot when someone's pushing you, because usually they're just going to flesh at you when you go down. So back up, in. Jung knows. In, and boom. So Jung had established that he wouldn't get fleshed at. Sometimes you just gotta... Look at this guy. Sometimes you just gotta take it in. He's still a legend. Oh. Sebastian is clearly in a panic now. He's really throwing his tip, so... Boom. Just a clean counter, right? The attack's just completely out of distance. At this point, I really don't feel like Beskin thinks he can win. And obviously, he just got, like, 10-0'd right now. 9-0'd. And then on the rush, right? Threatening. Boom. Oh, he ends with... And then opponent's rushing in, down, boom. And that's such good balance. That's just a fantastic bout. And for obvious reasons, Jung is super excited, obviously. He's just won, made a sick comeback. To me, right, in bouts like this, any kind of comeback, right? This was basically a 11-0. Don't rush your bouts early, but also when you're behind. Don't rush from behind. Take your time and get that comeback going. You see something, play off of it, but don't just assume that the bout's going to come to you. You got to go get it, but not right away. Take your time. Take the whole period, okay? So, yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned, because I think around December we're going to do something cool. Thank you. Bye.